What's up, my party peoples? On our last video, we were working on our no-cost hay rack. So, as you can tell behind me, today we might do something a little less free. Now that we've got it here, it's time to outfit this bad boy a little bit, make the operation in the field fun and a lot more safe. So, what we've got is we've got a package of ram mount materials for holding the phone and an iPad. And then we also have on this side a camera, and the point of the camera is to go on the rear of the mower. This thing's pretty big. You can't really see behind it, although there are mirrors. I like having the extra level of insurance. I know in the last year alone, I avoided no less than probably 4 accidents driving down the road because of the camera on the back of my round baler. You can't always see the cars behind you. The tractors, balers have blinkers, but for some reason, coming up to intersections when I'm getting ready to turn left, the drivers, I guess, don't either see my blinkers or they're impatient and they go to pass me anyway. If I didn't have that camera last year, there was multiple times where turning left at an intersection in the country, a car decided they were going to pass me on the left-hand side because I was slowing down. Well, I was slowing down a turn, and if I didn't see them on the rearview camera, I would have turned right in front of them, and we would have had a massive problem. And it wasn't just once. So I take that stuff very seriously, especially if for some reason I'm not the one driving it on the road. I definitely want my family and friends to be safe, especially when they're in my equipment. So that's the whole point of the camera. It's nothing fancy, nothing awesome, but it's just there to serve a purpose of keeping everybody safe, keeping the equipment safe, and for the other drivers, keep them safe. So there are some instructions we're going to have to follow to get the wiring hooked up in here. But the cool thing is that camera should display on that monitor in the cab. I don't need an external monitor for it with this kit. So I'm super excited to get this all put together and get it ready for the field. I can't use it quite yet, but I'm super excited to. This might be the most time-consuming thing I've ever spent on ram mounts. Usually it's just attach the little ball socket arm and go. But since this is a little bigger for shipping, I'm sure they had to break it down into pieces. And it's not that bad, 10 screws. We're going to put 4 bolts in here in just a second to put the ball mount on the back of this bad boy, and it'll be ready to go. We have one of these in our baling tractor already, so they do work quite well. Very secure. Never had anything pop out. Love the products. See what I'm talking about? There's a gap right here. This is flush, and then it's got a gap. This one's flush all the way across, but it works. All right, so there's the monitor, and we got this bracket from, as you can see, displaybracket.com. Take these bolts out back here. This goes on, and then we can use this peg here to mount stuff too. Okay, view from the cab, the driver's seat. Took me a minute to get things situated the way I wanted. It was kind of tight working in there, so I didn't get a lot of it videoed, but here's the idea. You got your phone holder here. I'll be able to see who's calling me, and then this expands this way to get the iPad in and out. We have an outlet, power outlet here where I can hook up a charger to keep us going for the day, and then I can still see and touch anything I need to down here. It feels a little wobbly, honestly, but this is an air ride seat, so I don't think it's going to matter. But something I wanted to show you guys. I didn't know that they offered this until I started looking for this stuff, but the way I've got this set up, there was only that one ball on the bracket behind the monitor. So how do you attach 2 items, right? So Ram Mount came out with this thing. I don't know if you can kind of see it back here. The bolt that normally goes through here is usually just a bolt with a handle, but they came up with this add-a-ball mount. It replaces that bolt that goes through, and then you get another mounting ball spot. So that's how we've got two things configured off of one bracket. So for a $10 or $15 item back there, we didn't need a second bracket, and that bracket's like 70 bucks. So kind of cool, kind of versatile, the stuff that they're coming up with. So I like the setup. I'm sure we'll probably make some fine-tuning adjustments on the angles and things like that when we're in the field. But for now, I like it the way it is. I forgot, the salesman called me and told me I need to adjust the airbags on the back of this thing, because as we're sitting right now, we're kind of sitting with the nose pointed down. We need to adjust those airbags so it's level. So I'm gonna have to figure out what he said to do and adjust that. Okay, so the info that he texted me said to make sure header's on the ground, the back wheels are behind the axle. Now we got to check and see for 25 to 40 psi in those bags, and the rear axle should be level at that time. All right, so I'm in here looking for the airbag pressure. I have no idea what it's called or what I'm looking for in here. Well, I guess we're going to play around with this for a minute and see if we can figure it out. Okay, so these are the airbags I was talking about. I saw this line here, and there's one on the other side, and I just assumed that meant that this was like an auto-adjusting inflate deflate kind of deal. It is not. They're just tied together on one line, so both pressures are the same. So if you follow the line from this side, right here, a little Schrader valve, just like you would have on a tire. So we just had to put a gauge on that. I was talking to him on the phone. We did deflate the bags a little bit, and drops the back end a little bit. He said it makes the ride quality a lot different. If they're too high, you're just banging you down through the field. If they're too light, your back end will kind of feel like a boat on water. So we can play with that adjustment, air it up, let some air out if we need to along the way, but pretty simple, straightforward. He was super helpful, and those are set about where they're supposed to be, towards the lighter end of the scale, but definitely within specs. So I have to do a little reading on how this camera adapter is supposed to wire in. It's going to get tight in there, so I'll probably check back with you once I actually get it in. But we'll see what we can do about trying to get a camera put on this thing and see if we can get this whole thing kind of wrapped up. I'm super excited for this thing to go to the field, test out the GPS, run a bunch of acres, start making some money, because Lord knows we need a return on investment with this bad boy.